India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to attend the G20 Leaders Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa from 21 to 23 November, where he will present India's views on the core elements of the G20 agenda. According to the Ministry of External Affairs, the Prime Minister will participate in all three formal sessions of the summit, outlining India's positions on inclusive and sustainable growth, global resilience to climate and disaster risks, and the opportunities and challenges posed by emerging technologies, including artificial intelligence and critical minerals. The MEA underscored that this summit marks the fourth consecutive G20 gathering hosted in the Global South. The sequence began with Indonesia's presidency in 2022, followed by India's landmark summit in 2023, which saw the African Union formally admitted as a permanent member of the grouping. Brazil continued the momentum by hosting the summit in Rio in 2024, and now South Africa holds the presidency for 2025, extending the Global South's leadership streak. Together, G20 countries account for roughly 80% of global GDP, 75% of global trade, and 60% of the world's population, underscoring the weight of these successive presidencies among emerging economies. Alongside the summit, Prime Minister Modi will also hold a series of bilateral meetings with world leaders in Johannesburg. He will also attend the India-Brazil-South Africa Leaders Meeting hosted by South Africa. Established in 2003, the IBSA Dialogue Forum brings together three major democracies and emerging economies from Asia, South America, and Africa. The platform fosters cooperation in areas such as trade, development, defense, governance, and broader South-South collaboration. IBSA nations also coordinate positions on global issues, advocate reform of the United Nations, including the expansion of the Security Council, and jointly finance development projects in vulnerable countries through the UN-administered IBSA Fund. The three sessions scheduled for the Johannesburg Summit will revolve around inclusive and sustainable economic growth, the G20's role in building a resilient world, and shaping a fair and just global future. The theme for the G20 in 2025 is Solidarity, Equality and Sustainability, reflecting South Africa's priorities as host. This year's summit, however, takes place against the backdrop of mounting tensions between the United States and South Africa. The United States has boycotted the summit and, according to a Bloomberg report, has cautioned Pretoria against issuing a joint statement. Relations soured earlier in May when South African President Cyril Ramaphosa was publicly reprimanded by US President Donald Trump at the White House following false accusations that Ramaphosa was committing genocide against white Afrikaners and expropriating farmland.
For generations, Miami has been a haven for those fleeing communist tyranny in South Africa. I mean, if you take a look at what's going on in parts of South Africa, look at South Africa, what's going on. Look at South America, what's going on. You know, we have a G20 meeting in South Africa. South Africa shouldn't even be in the Gs anymore because what's happened there is bad. I'm not going. I told them I'm not going. I'm not going to represent our country there. It shouldn't be there.
All I can say in my experience in politics is that boycotts never really work. They have a very contradictory effect. The United States, by not being at the G20, one must never think that we are not going to go on with the G20. The G20 will go. All other heads of state will be. In the end, we will take fundamental decisions, and their absence is their loss.
PM Modi's presence in Johannesburg signals India's continued leadership in shaping global conversations on growth, climate, emerging technologies, and global South solidarity. With the US absent and tensions simmering, the summit is set to be politically charged, but also a major opportunity for India to reinforce its voice on the world stage. With Farhan Khan, Bureau Report, India Today Global.